Vandalism strikes another Suffolk church. This one's in Patchogue, and the Suffolk County Bias Unit is eyeing a group of young adults in the area as possible suspects. And as News 12's Rose Walia reports, the vandals may be responsible for trashing more than one place in the area.
Broken glass and light fixtures, as well as torn down phone lines, awaited evangelist Brad Blake at the Church of Christ in Patchogue during the wee hours of Monday morning. The vandalism left parishioners in disbelief. Suffolk police say the prime suspects are a group of young adults in the area. And while nothing was stolen, more than $3,000 worth of damage was done, and the spirits of church members dashed.
I think it's a horrible thing. We come here to worship and tell people about Christ and share the word, and they come and bust the windows.
The Church of Christ is a non-denominational house of worship with more than 100 members throughout Suffolk County. Authorities say there was no evidence such as swastikas to indicate a hate crime, but because the incident occurred at a church, the Suffolk County Bias Unit is investigating. The Christ Church wasn't the only place that was vandalized last night. The Rock Gym, which is about 100 yards away from the house of worship, was also damaged. And employees here say they believe the two cases are connected. An employee of the gym who wished to remain anonymous told News 12 that police have acquired a surveillance tape from the establishment, which could identify the criminals in question. Police officials, however, will only say they're investigating both cases.
We have a type of break in the health club next door. We're looking into that to see if that's connected to this.
At the church, workers have already begun replacing windows and wires. Evangelist Blake says Mass will still be held this week despite the incident. He also says while he's saddened by what took place in the house of God, the occurrence has brought the community closer.
This challenge has turned into a great blessing for us to reach out to the people of this neighborhood.
Rose Walia, News 12, Long Island.
And church leaders say they're considering extra security measures to help prevent such crimes in the future.
Suffolk police say two killers are on the loose. According to detectives, two masked men.
But in reality, when do you throw in the towel?
Gorgeous. Humidity was low, 72 the high today at MacArthur Airport, 59 the low.
Didn't find evidence of a hate crime, but since the crime was committed at a church, the Suffolk County Bias Unit is investigating. Church members say while they're saddened by what happened, the crime has brought the community together.
This challenge has turned into a great blessing for us to reach out to the people of this neighborhood.
Service
Police are calling it a bias crime, but members of the church aren't so sure.
The Patchogue Church of Christ was the target of vandals who sometime overnight punched out numerous windows and broke into the basement of the sanctuary.
15 windows were broken in this particular church. Because this is a house of worship and damage was more than $50, it falls under the aggravated harassment section of the penal law, and that deems it a bias crime.
Although Brad Blake, who runs the non-denominational church, doesn't see it as a bias crime.
No outward signs like swastikas or 666 signs or anti-Christian symbols. It was just purely breaking lots and lots of windows and shattering glass all over the facility.
Police on routine patrol overnight discovered the church windows broken, and the vandals who did this left their calling cards behind, beer bottles just like this one that were used as projectiles to throw through the church windows. Police say the vandals broke into the church through a basement window and then proceeded to use an upright vacuum cleaner to smash out several more windows in some classrooms. Detectives speculate that a health club that was also vandalized next door may have been attacked by the same group that attacked the church.
This church is on a dead-end street. It's in an isolated situation, and it appears that youth hang out at this particular parking lot.
Several parishioners lent a hand today in cleaning up the damage that was estimated to be between $2,500 and $3,000.
There's some dysfunctional people out there that are really lost, that they have a lot of problems in their life, and I blamed it on the society.
I think it's a disgrace to, to not only the community, but to the church and the members that are there.
Dave Giamonte, whose property is adjacent to the church parking lot, says he's now going to have to put up a fence.
Eventually, we plan on putting a fence all the way across, because this is mostly our property here, so mostly I'll stop the traffic from going through, hopefully cut it down a little bit.
Police are asking anyone with information on the vandalism to call their Crime Stoppers hotline at 1-800-220-TIPS. In Patchogue, Frank Uciardo for the WB11 News at 10.
The Jewish leaders today expressed